Hello, how the tech are you? This is our weekly tech show on Echoplex Media. We talk about tech news and science news and whatever tech and science stuff we feel like talking about. I am historian Matt. I like to talk about tech and science news. I don't have anything specific in that area that I talk about, but I got a couple stories this week. It's kind of like law related stuff, which is a little unusual, but so my first story is basically ISPs say listing every fee is too hard. FCC replies, I don't care. I'll get into what exactly they're talking about there in a bit. And the second one is NYCPD uses drones to spy on neighbors this Labor Day weekend. HK is out on an adventure. So go ahead, you in the tinfoil hat.
Yeah, I am Dave. I'm the producer of this and all the shows here at Echoplex Media. I got 3 stories this week. One is Scientology versus the right to repair. The other one is a follow-up on a story we did last week, California forever. And then something's going on with Wendy's Facebook page.
Okay. So my first topic, real quick. So that what's going on with the ISPs at FCC? Basically, the FCC rejected requests from ISPs to eliminate an upcoming requirement that they list all monthly fees. So the rule requires ISPs to list all the monthly fees, including charges they impose at their discretion, which are basically these fees that are not mandated by the government, but the ISPs charge anyways. It's a little bit confusing. They're still required to take in these fees from what I can tell. But these are like government taxes, basically at like, local and state and type taxes that instead of just like rolling them into their regular advertised costs, they separate them out so they can advertise a lower price, but still charge people more. And they just separate them out as separate fees. Basically what's going on. So Comcast said that the rule adds significant administrative burden and unnecessary complexity. Never mind that they're actually charging those fees, so they should know what fees they're actually charging, and they just have to list it out. But I'm not complaining. But basically, the FCC said, well, if you don't want to list all of the different fees you're charging the customer, you could just roll all those fees into the advertised rates, and then you don't have to worry about it. That satisfies the rule, and your billing is a lot simpler. What do you think, Dave?
I think Comcast rolled all the fees into my advertised rate.
You think they did that?
Otherwise, they're just not charging me any fees.
Oh, wow.
Because the advertised rate was exactly what my account was charged.
Nice. As far as I can tell, this rule has not gone into effect yet, so maybe they're doing it preemptively.
Or it could be there could be like California laws, or I moved to a different county recently. There could be regulations in the county that I'm in, maybe, that are different than the county that I was in before or whatever. But yeah, I don't see why they don't do it like that way and just be like, your total bill will be $85. Because what if with the fees before, if they itemized it all, it'd be 82. They could actually hit you for $3 more and you'd thank them for making it simpler, right?
Yeah.
Which is what they're going to do.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, it's only $3, but think about how, or whatever it is, $2.50, they'd probably round it up to the next 5. And you think about all the customers
count, add up to a pretty significant addition to your cost for ISPs for internet or whatever. ISP is technically internet, but I think they're also like usually your cell phone or cable or something like that as well. But they're not a small amount, they're possibly as much as 20% of your bill from what I can tell.
Yeah, I just was surprised. First of all, I was surprised that the debit went through because I had the whole thing with my bank being purchased, and they're like, "Don't worry, it'll be fine," and then it wasn't. But we're not doing a financial show, so I'm not going to get too much into that. But it was real fun having my debit card get rejected everywhere I went.
Whoa.
I mean, whatever.
I have not had good luck when my bank's been purchased in the past, but we won't get into that. It's not a financial show. But maybe we need to do that sometime, but not this show.
Whatever. I mean, I knew it was coming, so I just before it came, I said, I'm going to put a bunch of money in my PayPal account and make sure that's attached to my Google Pay. And that solved my problems. ISPs and like just more broadly, people used to refer to them as like the cable company in some cases. They've always done people dirty on these fees and like advertised us one price to you and then given another price to you. And I think more and more companies are figuring out, not just ISPs, but that people hate this. More and more companies they're like, you'd go, oh, that's a really great price on something. And then you go, why are you charging me $60 to ship this 4-pound thing? And you're like, well, now the price isn't very good anymore. And I hate you. And I think more and more companies are starting to figure out that when you do stuff like that, whether you're nickel and diming somebody with fees or just being like not very transparent as to what their bill is actually going to be, that people hate you. And as fiber rolls out in more and more places, a company like Comcast specifically probably has a pretty good incentive to simplify your bill and do exactly what they said they were going to do, because their service is going to be inferior to the competition in more and more places as time goes by. So the only thing they're really going to be able to lean on is that, well, we already have this and we don't feel like changing. And that only works if you're not pissing your customers off. You start pissing your customers off and they're like, well, what else is available? They're like, wait a minute, $50 for what?
Yeah. You can only piss off your customers until they have an alternative.
Right.
Yeah. And for a long time, these companies did not have any alternatives, but more and more there's more companies competing in more locations. There's still a lot of people who don't have a choice, which really sucks. But
if you live in the right spot, I mean, I don't, and you're probably not in a dense enough area for it to be the case either. But if you live in a dense enough area, for a lot of people, these 5G plans that are like $40 a month for unlimited, where you just get this little box that doesn't hook up to anything, are a great alternative. Especially if you don't, like for me, it wouldn't work, right? Because I need the consistency of a wired connection. But if I wasn't streaming, I'd be like, T-Mobile has what for $35? I would have at least tried it before I went with Comcast or whatever. So as wireless internet, and I don't just mean like your Wi-Fi, I mean like 5G and 6G is rolling out soon too. That'll be fun on the other shows, by the way, when 6G rolls out. I wonder what kind of interesting things they think does to your teeth. But the next generation of I don't know much about it, but if it's better than 5G, well, it's going to start to compete with fiber if you're in the right location. So these companies are incentivized in other ways to simplify the bill. And I did not know that they could obfuscate all the fees, hide all the fees from you by just saying your bill is, $72 and then just billing you $72.
Yeah. Yeah. According to the FCC, that's totally fine. Like you're not charging separate fees. That's just your bill.
They should just do this anyway. And in fact, if it was going to be 72, I'd ramp it up to 76. Because then they could basically steal $4 from you that way.
Yeah, probably.
And then you're like, oh, cool, all of those fees are gone. You know what I mean? It just seems people like simple, and people like, especially with a utility like that, people just like the idea of, okay, I know it's going to be X amount. Especially now that most of the places you can, if you get the right plan, you get rid of the data cap and all that too. So now exactly what that bill is going to be. And even people who aren't really worried about the money so much, they like the predictability. They just think it seems honest to them. So, I think that's going to be the solution. I seriously think they're going to add up all the fees and whatever it was, and then tack $2 on, or $1.80 or $3.10 or however much it is, to make it like a number like 70, 75, 80. And so they're just going to basically steal $2 or $3 from you, and we'll call that the simplicity tax.
Yeah.
So. But I don't, like we were saying last time, it makes no sense to me. Like if they have the ability to charge the fee, they certainly have the ability to put it on your bill.
Yeah.
It seems like zero work.
I wanted to cover this because it's a follow-up. The only news here from last time is that the FCC was just thumbing their nose at the ISPs, got me, and being a little sarcastic about it, which is great.
Well, what do you got next?
All right, for my second topic is a new thing. Basically, the NYCPD to use drones to spy on neighbors for the Labor Day weekend. So that's the New York City Police Department said they'll use drones to check on parties over the Labor Day weekend when noise complaints come in from neighbors. NYCPD will only use the drones for non-emergency calls, according to them. So they're not doing it for emergencies, which kind of to me is the exact opposite of what you want. You kind of want the drones for the emergencies and not for these just annoying neighbor type things, but whatever. Anyways, privacy advocates are saying that the use of these drones will violate the New York City law called the Public Oversight of Surveillance Technology Act, also known as the POST Act. And that requires that the NYCPD publish the use and impact reports of surveillance technology it uses. The current impact and use policy from the NYCPD does not include using the drones for backyard party surveillance. They have a bunch of other stuff that are listed for pretty much kind of what you would expect, any kind of like hostage situation or I don't know. They do it for crowd control and surprisingly traffic, which is obviously just using drones to catch speeders or something. But also they replied that the drones will not be used when there's a reasonable expectation of privacy unless a search warrant is obtained. And included in that search warrant, they have to specifically say they're using drones to do it and what they're going to do with the drones. But to me, like, if you're in your backyard and you're having a party and it's your backyard, like, I would assume there's a reasonable expectation of privacy, especially if you have, one of those privacy fences that just about everybody has. But what do you think, Dave?
I think I have to sneeze, but
oh,
live to tape, everyone. This is dumb as fuck. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I just ruined our ability to monetize this video where we're not eligible for monetization. I probably just got rid of, I sneezed and then I swore. Kills us in the algorithms. Like on like a 3-day weekend, if people are having a barbecue, don't call the cops.
Yeah. I mean, unless they're just completely unreasonable or, unreasonably loud, probably what you want to do is go over and first ask if they'll turn it down and maybe grab a hot dog or something while you're over there, right?
Or skip the first part. If you live, because like, this isn't like you live like, I'm sorry, like you live in New York City.
Yeah.
Like you don't live in a quiet place.
Right.
Like if you want peace and quiet, get out of New York City. There's plenty of places you can live that are a 30-minute drive out of the city center where you can have a bit of peace and quiet.
Yeah. Well, in the city center, do they have backyards? I don't know.
Well, but what I mean is in any of the, like the 5 boroughs or whatever.
Yeah.
That are New York City.
Right.
You could just go ahead. You could be bridge and tunnel. It'll be fine. Nobody will even know. You can still tell people you're from New York City when you travel. They won't even know that you're from Hoboken.
Like 90% of the country wouldn't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We talk about this a lot on Down Ballot, actually, is that people want like a lot of the conveniences of the city, but then they don't want the city.
Yeah.
They don't want, unfortunately we talk a lot about homelessness or whatever on Down Ballot, but they don't want a party. But like,
right.
If you live in the city, your neighbors might have a party, and then like, I don't know what to tell you. Be a good neighbor and invite yourself to their party, or be like, hey, I got to work early. And most of your neighbors will be like, oh, we'll turn down the music.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Pretty much.
You didn't even got to ask him to turn down the music. You just knock on the door. You go, hey, I got to work early. They're like, oh, that sucks. Do you want a drink? Do you want like, no, but do you have any food? I think you're right about the expectation of privacy in your own backyard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I figure maybe people should get slingshots.
Yeah. Well, true. I don't know what the legality of shooting down a police drone
actually
is.
I think like if you actually were to shoot a projectile high enough and hard enough to take out a drone, I think it's actually dangerous for others in your community anyway. So
but it doesn't even make sense to me. Like, I don't think it's illegal to have a backyard party. Like, in most places, it's the noise that's the part that may be illegal if you're, interfering, exceeding some noise level for a local noise ordinance or something like that. And then if that's the case, then the police shouldn't have to use a drone. They should be able to just hear the party, right?
What does the drone have? I might be okay if like the drone has like a decibel meter and it doesn't fly into your backyard necessarily, right?
Yeah,
or over your backyard. It kind of flies nearby, and if it can hear your party, like.
Well, it sounded like they were going to fly it up high and then like shoot down so they can see into your backyard to see how many people are there or something, to see if you're having a party. But that seems unnecessary.
Right, because it's actually not illegal to have a bunch of people over and have them in your backyard.
Yeah, after, some parties don't make a lot of noise. Like
and like it's a barbecue most of the time. We're talking about like on the holiday weekends and stuff. It's usually going to be like Sunday afternoon. People are going to have a barbecue, and maybe if even, because this is New York City, how many people even have the Monday off in New York City? So even if it goes late and a few stragglers stay, but then that usually moves inside. I think they're just. I want to find out, like, did they even do this? Because this sounds impractical. Right. In addition to like being a real big kind of civil liberties violation.
Yeah. To be fair, nobody said they actually did this. They were saying that the police department was considering it, or I guess they sent out guidance that they were going to do this or something like that. I don't know exactly how. This was not the only source for this information. So I don't know where it initially came from, but a number of other outlets reported on the same thing. As far as I can tell, none of them said they actually did it yet.
Well, we wouldn't even know. Like, right. The news cycle for the Memorial Day weekend starts tomorrow. So, for Labor Day weekend starts tomorrow. And maybe we won't get any follow up on this because it either didn't happen or it happened so infrequently and then nothing came as a result. Because, like, what do? You fly the drone over somebody's backyard. You're like, oh, looks like ribs.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, pretty much.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. What's the next step? Do you just go arrest everybody for like unauthorized, too many hot dogs on the grill at once, or like?
Yeah. Again, like, I don't think it's illegal to have a party. It's just illegal to, in most cities, like, to be too loud, usually past a certain time, right?
Well, there's noise ordinances during the day too, but the decibel levels are pretty high during the day.
Yeah.
Like otherwise construction would be a violation of them.
Right.
So I think this is just as has been like kind of historically the case for the NYPD. This is just them sort of behaving as if they're like a military and a police state, right?
Yeah.
Because this is nothing new for the NYPD. Like, there's been a lot of cases, like, and I don't want to get too much into it, but after 9/11, they were just behaving in like so many ways that were just, unconstitutional. And if anybody like ends up having any negative consequences because these drones flying over their backyard barbecue, I have a feeling that we're going to see ACLU versus the New York City Police Department again.
Yeah.
Because I wonder which neighborhoods they're going to, are they going to be targeting rooftop parties in the nice parts of Manhattan? Or
probably not.
Or are we thinking about maybe Queens and the Bronx?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's going to happen.
And, this is just sort of the way this always works. But if it's Queens and the Bronx, maybe if the people are not white, maybe the drones won't be able to even recognize any of their faces. Who fucking knows?
It's a good point.
not great, but a good point. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We'll see. This might be maybe not much ado about nothing, but much ado about something that didn't happen, because I just from a practical standpoint, I can't see like why, like, yeah. What do you mean you're going to fly a drone over a party? I don't see what they would do. Like how it would.
Yeah. What's the point of that?
I mean, I don't even see
and
how they could
explained it either.
like they could. Sure, it's probably a violation of like your private. If the New York City, you said there's like some kind of privacy laws there, but like even what's in it for the cops?
Yeah.
Like what do they? I don't know. I don't understand. It sounds like I don't know. It sounds like they're just. Oh, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we'll look this up. Maybe we won't. Anyway,
Yeah.
I got a couple stories, if you don't mind.
All right.
Go for first it. One is I don't really have any notes on this. It's just funny. This is one cult of Scientology versus their right to repair. Scientologists tell the feds they don't want random people repairing their fake lie detector test. So L. Ron Hubbard's literary organization told the U.S. Copyright Office that they didn't support DMCA exemptions for repairing personal electronics.
Wait, do they have any like copyright protection in e-meter? I thought people did like teardowns of it, and it's like super basic electronics.
Oh yeah. There's teardown videos on YouTube. Somebody was like, "There's like $20 worth of stuff in here."
Yeah, they sell it for like $400, right?
I mean, this is also much ado about nothing because it's not like there's people out there clamoring to find an independent e-meter repair shop, right?
That's right.
But it's true. It's very funny that Scientology was like saw this and decided to like write a letter to somebody. Like, first of all, most of the people who buy these to like use them are generally either like people like me who are maybe researching cults, and I'm not really buying it to use it. I'd be buying it more like kind of as a novelty, or as some people have done to take it apart to see what's inside of it. Other places that buy them are people who believe in this stuff, so they're not likely to try to do any unauthorized repair on it because it won't detect your body thetans correctly or whatever if you don't you don't have authorized repair. I don't know what they were doing. I think they might have just been trying to get in the news, maybe because of all the other stuff that's been going on with the cult. They might have thought, well, any other kind of press actually is good press right about now, with the whole Danny Masterson thing and Leah Remini having just filed a suit that may end up going class action against them. So maybe they just did this because they're like, well, this might bury some of the other stories because this is ridiculous. You don't have to be stupid to be evil. So
true.
All right.
I'm not as up on the Scientology stuff, but guess our listeners and viewers can check out the Thursday show, right? Is a Scientology show.
Yeah. We were off last week, but we're back this week.
Okay.
It should be a lot of fun. And since you followed up with a story, I'm following up with a story as well. Our friends, we'll call them our friends, the investor class, the people who wanted to make a company town. Well, they launched a vague website called California Forever. It is it's starting a conversation about Eastern Solano County, and the art on the website looks a little dystopian. Here, let me show you this here. This looks just, I don't know. This gives me, first of all, it looks like a PragerU video a little bit. But secondly, like this is, okay, I believe this is a photograph, right? The area today. Here's what it's going to look like. Like, okay, this is terrifying. It's like a, like a Norman Rockwell painting, but also mixed with like Atlas Shrugged.
Right.
This is all this artwork is terrifying. These are like non-union workers installing solar panels for Elon Musk. This is all terrifying, and this is just the California Forever website. It's about the coming dystopia in Eastern Solano County.
Yeah.
Matt, did you think they were going to put up a website with kind of really bad artwork?
I'm not surprised. I wasn't. I guess I'm a little surprised that they've gone so far and haven't been shot down yet. But we'll see what happens.
I mean, they can buy land, right? But as soon as I think, they have county, and this land also exists in some city, right? Like there's not a lot of unincorporated land in any Bay Area county. So I think as soon as they start to do too much central planning or whatever, they're going to run into like city councils and board of supervisors meetings, which would be great for me, by the way. We do a show on Tuesdays called Public Comment. It's after our down ballot show. And the Solano County Board of Supervisors meeting might start getting really interesting really soon.
That's right.
It'll be a mixture of actual concerned citizens and conspiracy theorists who are right about this, but for the wrong reason.
Right.
So
yeah, didn't like company towns go out in like the 19th century or something, or did it make it in the early 20th?
I think that you're being very unfair to these venture capitalists calling this a company town. You've come to this in very bad faith, Matt. This is not a company town. This is a community for workers. No, we don't like that kind of language. Employees. Right.
Yeah, of course.
Not even. I'm sorry, contractors.
Contractors.
It's Contractorville.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, I just thought the website with some of the imagery, it looked like a Norman Rockwell painting meets the cover of Atlas Shrugged. So I was like, oh, this is great. This is terrifying.
I think it's less the like imagery. I mean, they were not great paintings. I think they're all digital art, right? But and some of them looked like nice. Like there was that one shot of the street that looked like a nice walkable neighborhood. But
the people were all white.
Knowing that it's the
people were all white.
Oh well, yeah, that's that too. But just knowing that it's all low paid, contractors and stuff that non-employees, basically gig workers, basically, right?
Right. Those houses were all rentals.
Yeah, exactly. That's the dystopian feeling I get from it.
And I got one more. Usually I only do two, but I saw this right before we came to Showtime. So something's going on with the Wendy's Facebook page. Check this out. Wendy's is like becoming less interested in Nefer and niece, more loaded nacho cheeseburger and cat's Facebook. Kitty cat emoji prayer. Here we go. They won't put these in Wendy's kids meals. That's for sure. We were built different. And it's like a game of Boggle.
What?
And then, my niece and nephew said they spelled it HTEY want to be streamers when they grow up. I thought spelled incorrectly. Streamers were WER for parties. Kitty cat with heart eyes. I love you emoji. Heart sparkle.
What is going on?
So Wendy's sort of has a history on social media.
I know they used to have like a bunch of stuff going on what was called Twitter, but now it's called X. And I've seen a lot of posts that were kind of strange, and they were trying to do that whole like, was it like saucy corporate person kind of thing? Right.
It was just like
social.
They were trying to do viral marketing for brand awareness.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So, and people, it was funny. It was cute. People would be like, "Oh, roast me, Wendy's, roast me." And then, they wouldn't really insult the person, right? They would use the opportunity to be like, to accuse the other person of being a big fan of McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell or something, right?
Yeah.
They'd never really go out because that's, you're not really going to be mean to the people. I don't think they got hacked, because I think a corporation as big as Wendy's would have a direct access to a marketing team at Facebook and be able to like recover their Facebook account. So I think this is another attempt at a viral marketing campaign. It's weird, and I'm here for it. Whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
That weird advertisement or whatever.
It's a weird advertisement. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a Wendy's across the way from me. I'm no more or less likely to go to the Wendy's. I go there more than I should already. So.
Yeah. I don't know where there's a Wendy's here. I think it's down the big street a couple miles, but anyways.
Yeah. I mean, Wendy's all right. It's better than some of the other fast food. Although I had Taco Bell today on my quest to find something else. I couldn't find the thing I was looking for, but I went by a Taco Bell and I was like, it was like $5 box lunch. I'm like, sure, let's eat a bunch of salt.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I guess that's the show. This show's getting weirder every week, I think.
Yeah.
Which is good.
We've kind of like gotten away from just talking about generic, tech news and trying to find the weird tech news.
That's where, that's if it was going to be fun and going to like kind of fit in with what we do around here more broadly, it was going to have to end up there, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, it was my story list could have just been on the Sunday show.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's your turn to close the show out, Matt.
Oh, I was hoping I would never have to do that again, but just kidding. That was our show. I hope you liked it. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. If you're on YouTube, and I have no idea what you do on the other sound only podcast type stuff, but check out our website, echoplexmedia.com, for pretty much everything. Got everything linked there and lots of info for the whole network. And then on Twitch at Twitch TV/EchoPlexMedia is all our live shows. Check them out when you get a chance for all our stuff. And of course, support us at Patreon at patreon.com/EchoPlex. And don't forget swag at eplex.store. Swag's good. Have a great techin' week.